It's 8 p.m. and here are our top stories.
This is probably one of the biggest storms that we've had this snow season.
The snow is moving out, but the bone-chilling cold is sticking around.
We're talking sub-zero temperatures, what you need to know before you head out tomorrow morning and when we can warm up.
Travelers running into ice on the roads and in the sky.
I knew it was going to snow, but I didn't know it was going to be delayed this bad.
But maybe don't touch that thermostat. XL's rate hikes might have you bundling up instead.
There are a lot of people, this really impacts their bottom line.
Plus, a couple critters conducting their scientific method to see how long winter's gonna last.
A child's life gone in a moment after an amusement park ride goes terribly wrong.
What kind of message does that send to this park and other parks?
Tonight, parents outraged that the DA won't pursue charges.
The criminal justice system has let them down.
The snow has finally stopped falling across Denver as we take a live look outside tonight. Crews clearing up the roads will have their work cut out for them overnight as the coldest temperatures of the season so far set in. Good evening and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Jessica Porter.
I'm Danny New. This Weather Action Day has been packed with snow and we're somehow not done yet. Let's take a look at some of those snowfall totals. Commerce City received some of the most snow in the metro with more than a foot. Then you got the east and downtown parts of Denver that got the most in the city with just under a foot. And then meanwhile, some of the state's biggest totals were down south in Colorado Springs where they got 22 inches.
That's a lot of snow, and a lot of those areas will see that snow freeze overnight. CDOT tells Denver 7 it has about 100 crews out across the metro treating and plowing those roads, making sure people are able to get home before the next freeze hits.
Some of those secondary roads, some of those state highways, across the metro area, we want to make sure that they get that same level of treatment and just get everything as cleaned up and buttoned up as possible, particularly before the cold continues to stay with us.
So let's get right to our team coverage on this Weather Action Day. Denver 7's Bayan Wang is live in Denver where temps are dropping by the minute.
First, let's go to Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson with a look ahead at conditions. Good evening, Mike.
Hey, good evening, you guys. And Dan, I got to hand it out. You do a story about ice cream on a day like today. That's pretty good. Let me show you what's happening right now along the Front Range. This is the view out in Boulder on the Pearl Street Mall. Nobody out there at the moment. I've seen a few intrepid folks very bundled up, and there's a good reason for that. The temperatures are already below zero in many locations along the Front Range. Already 7 below at Ward Berthoud Pass. There's 9 below. Evergreen is at 9 below zero as well. And look downtown, we're at 4 currently. And out at the airport, temperatures are already below zero. Across the region, it is really cold. Northwest corner of the state with temperatures 13 below zero right now at Craig. And the cold is really going to take hold overnight tonight as temperatures drop to 20 to 30 below in the high mountain valleys. Meanwhile, on the plains, as the snow ends, we'll see temperatures about 5 to 10 below zero. Headlines, flurries stop falling, temps keep dropping, and temperatures are going to be very cold by tomorrow morning with slick roads. But fortunately, conditions will bounce back. We do have some readings in the 40s to near 50 degrees coming up in the 7-day forecast. I'll have details in just a bit.
Thank you, Mike. And just like Mike said, the cold is really the concern tonight.
Yeah, Denver 7's Bayan Wang joins us live from Denver with some tips to help us beat the freeze tonight. Bayan?
Yeah, certainly a lot of tips. And Danny, welcome to Colorado. I know you spent the last several years in Florida, completely opposite climate. So here's a tip for you. These little things, they're hand warmers. And these are game changers. I just recently learned about them. I had to go buy a huge pack. Apparently they have toe warmers too. So there's some advice to you. But most obvious thing is probably don't go outside if you don't need to. And as Mike said, sub-zero temperatures are in the forecast. So I don't know how much these are going to work out, but here's some tips so your water piping in your apartment or house doesn't freeze up. Listen up. Okay, so if you leave your home, keep temperatures at least 60 degrees. Make sure curtains are down to keep your home insulated. Keep cabinet doors under sinks open to expose water pipes to warm air. Turn on all your faucets to a slow drip, and if it isn't obvious already, keep your pets inside. And come to find out, my photog and I weren't the only ones outside today.
Oh, it's the coldest day I've ever felt. It really is. I'm from Philly, and this is still colder than anything I've dealt with. I was expecting it to be cold, but not like this, not to where I can't even walk.
I've never felt anything like this at all whatsoever. This is a completely different environment for me. I got a lot of thermals on right now, so I'm doing the best that I can to stay warm.
And I got a lot of thermals on too, and you want to make sure your kids are all bundled up tomorrow if they have to take the bus to school. If they have to go to a bus stop, maybe it's a good idea to have them in a heated car and let them out as soon as the bus rolls up. Or if the bus stop is close, maybe have them inside, but you don't want them out there too long in the morning hours, because we know these single-digit temperatures are quite possible in the morning hours. And as we toss it back, Jessica, I gotta say, you look quite cozy and warm in there.
You definitely go put your other glove on, go inside and get warm. It is just bitter cold out there. Thank you so much, Bayan. We appreciate it. And that cold is throwing a wrench in a lot of people's travel plans. More than 180 flights were canceled at DIA today. Another 178 are canceled tomorrow. Now, the airport says, relatively speaking, they lucked out because only about 3 inches of snow fell at DIA.
Now time to hear from the nation's most famous seasonal weather person, Punxsutawney Phil, who says, "Okay, campers, rise and shine. Don't forget your booties because it's going to be a cold one out there." Sorry, I had to quote Groundhog's Day. The famous Pennsylvania groundhog saw his shadow today, so of course that means we'll have 6 more weeks of winter. But if you don't want to believe a groundhog on the East Coast, maybe you listen to a stuffed yellow-bellied marmot on a snowboard in Boulder. Flatiron Freddy did not see his shadow this morning, so maybe spring is around the corner, which really just mean snow either way in Colorado, right? Regardless, we'll have snow. Yeah. Well, for a more scientifically sound forecast in your area, you can check out our 24/7 weather stream. It's available right now on the free Denver 7 Plus app. And for the latest weather coverage on your morning commute, you can, of course, check in with Denver 7 tomorrow morning at 4:30. Well, after calling a snow day today, some school districts are already pushing back tomorrow's start due to the weather.
As for Douglas County, there will be no classes tomorrow, and it's not because of the weather. Hundreds of teachers are planning to walk out tomorrow in protest of an apparent attempt to force the superintendent to resign. A possible indicator of the size of tomorrow's protest, before classes were canceled today, there were more than 1,200 substitute positions open for tomorrow.
A 60-year-old skier is accused of running over a 13-year-old at Beaver Creek, and deputies are hoping that you can help find him. This happened Sunday in the Bachelor Gulch area. Deputies say the teen remembers the man straight lining it right for him before taking him out, and then the man took off. The teen now has several injuries, and here's a description that we have so far. The man had goggles with a red strap and purple lenses, as well as green and black skis. And if you know anything, you can call the Eagle County Sheriff's Office.
No charges will be filed in the death of a 6-year-old girl at a Glenwood Springs amusement park. Her family intends to keep fighting all the same. Denver 7's Jason Grenauer reports.
They said this decision, no charges whatsoever, treats their daughter's life as cheap and meaningless. That was written in a statement. We spoke with the family's attorney.
That just undermines public safety. And it's also offensive to the memory of Wangel, to her human dignity, to the parents.
A state investigation found that 6-year-old Wangel Estefanos was not buckled into the haunted mine drop at the Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park back in September. She fell 110 feet and was killed. The 9th Judicial District Attorney said in a statement they could not prove criminal negligence or criminal recklessness and therefore would not be filing any criminal charges.
And the state found they didn't fasten her. And when the warning light told them there was a problem with her seatbelt, they came back repeatedly and still didn't fasten her. So the parents are saying, if that isn't recklessness, what is?
The family will be moving forward with a civil lawsuit. In the newsroom, I'm Jason Grenauer, Denver 7.
One of the coldest nights so far this season. I'll let you know when warmer temperatures will be coming our way.
Freezing nights were meant for blasting the heat, but rising utility rates are giving customers the cold shoulder.
They are seeking to recover $550 million from their customers for both electric and gas services.
And new video showing the first interactions with Barry Morphew following his wife's disappearance.
Was it a crash? I mean, the bike looked, the way it was laid, it kind of looked like it, but there's not really that much damage to the bike.
Plus, ice cream for a cause. One local business is helping victims of the Marshall Fire, one scoop at a time.